In Marvel Rivals, Bucky is consistently considered to be one of the strongest DPS in the game, and with the meta heroes progressively getting weaker every season, Bucky only got stronger, which sparked one of the worst debates in Marvel Rivals. Is Bucky too easy? To answer this question, I'm going to be spending the next 10 hours mastering Bucky to settle this once and for all. Will I, as someone who can't aim, absolutely destroy on Bucky, or will I fail miserably and bomb this challenge? With time ticking, there was only one way to find out. So in hour 1, I decided to hop into the practice range to get a feel on his abilities. And the first thing I noticed is that using his abilities actually gives you overhealth. To begin with, having 3cc is unheard of, and to make matters worse, they all reload his gun, which can 2-tap enemies. So there was no way I would struggle on Bucky. I mean, it couldn't be that hard, right? Well, actually, if I didn't mention it before, I have absolutely no experience on raw aim characters. And in fact, this was very obvious, because in my first Quickplay game, I was already messing up. Not only was I missing some of his abilities, but I definitely wasn't getting the most value that I could. God, I can't hit a fucking shot. Dude, I suck! Oh my god! So, if I wanted to prove that Bucky was broken, I was gonna have to make something happen, and soon.
Oh. Okay, force the ult.
This is ridiculous. And although I was off to a rough start, I was finally making some progress. You see, with Bucky's extremely broken kit, I was absolutely destroying. Not only can you kill very quickly without headshotting, but he has 3cc abilities. Because of this, it was extremely easy to stop enemy ultimates. And oh boy, don't even get me started on his ultimate. And so far, it seemed like I was doing great. However, this was only the beginning. The game was only going to get harder from here. So if I was going to master Bucky, I was gonna have to maintain this momentum. So well into hour 1, I realized just how insanely broken this character is. But even just 5 games in, and there wasn't a single game where I wasn't MVP. The momentum I was experiencing was something I had never experienced before. However, very soon, I would find out just how mistaken I actually was. Okay, watch this. And I was doing great so far, but little did I know that this would not last forever. Hello? Okay, this loss is not my fault, let it be clear. And although things were going great so far, this loss definitely dampened the mood. So far, Bucky seems like a carry hero no matter what, and it was only my fault if we were ever losing, and I had to accept that. So I tried focusing on playing smarter, but obviously things were never going to be this simple. I was already beginning to mess up again. Fuck off! We weren't even a quarter of the way through the challenge. If things continued down this path, I was gonna make a fool of myself. So, to strengthen my resolve, I decided to hit up my friend and make a bet with him.
What if you have to 80% win rate with Bucky only? If you don't, you have to buy me every skin in the game.
I'm only buying you one skin if that happens. This was where the real challenge was about to start. Regardless, I kept my spirits high. This character was beyond busted, and we hadn't even been at it for 2 hours yet. And despite this, I had only lost a couple of times. So it was time to have some fun. And this would actually be a little bit harder than I thought. I had voice chat and all the text chats on, and I saw that my teammates were talking about somebody flexing their GM2 rank. And keep in mind, this is Quickplay. So flexing this from the start was just kind of weird, so I stepped in and said something. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of sad.
Bro, I'm playing a hero I've never played before. Literally.
But the reality was, this was ruining my mental. So I tried my best to focus on me. After all, I had to prove my friend wrong, so it was time to do that.
And as hour 2 and 3 passed, I decided that it was time to enter competitive.
But here is where it gets tricky. The account that I was playing on was already in Diamond. And so far, I had only been playing Bucky and Quickplay. And I don't think that I was good enough yet. And as it turns out, I was right. Something pretty bad would start happening. Let me die. I was kind of just getting shit on, if I'm being honest. I just couldn't get max values. Was I wrong about Bucky being broken? Or was I doing something wrong? With this question sitting in the back of my mind, I continued to play competitive. Although something funny happened that helped change the mood a bit, so...
Hey, invisible girl, can I eat your butt?
Get me out of here! Ah, no! No!
Whatever, I'm not gonna lie.
Ah! And around this time, I actually started having a lot of fun. Wait, there's a Jeff behind us. What is he doing? And after a few more wins, I eventually hit hour 4. My aim was definitely improving, and overall, I was playing better. Although there were some funny moments and bad decisions on my part, overall, so far, Bucky seemed absolutely insane. So as hour 4 continued to progress, my new focus was on not wasting my ability. After all, it was becoming a bad habit.
And when I realized this, I begun entering games with the focus of playing as smart as I possibly could. And so from now on, my priority was shifting to the focus of target priority. As I climbed, it would be more and more difficult to secure kills if I wasn't smart about who I was aiming at. I began using my abilities to pull tanks out of position to help secure more kills on them and taking high grounds with my movement ability. After all, Bucky excels at this style of play. When played correctly, he is simply unstoppable and can control large areas of space. And despite how good I was playing, this challenge was only going to prove to be more and more difficult.
We lose this shit after I got that. And here it was, some of the first conflict I had actually experienced. During this game, the tank was constantly blaming us, despite struggling pretty much the whole game. And if I'm being honest here, my mental was ruined. Going into hour 6, and I just wasn't really playing great. Oh! Dude, this close. Despite this, however, I was trying my best to focus on playing as well as I could. Even if I had some bad plays, the reality was that I was still on an 81% win rate. Even after entering comp, I was actually winning a lot. But for some reason, I just wasn't really satisfied with the outcome of the games. And as you might be able to guess, this led to even more losses, which would inevitably lead to me straying further and further from my win rate goal. And I knew that if I stayed on this path, I would fail. So yet again, I went back to focusing on playing the best I could. Yo, that Iron Fist is flying!
But obviously, this would prove to be much harder than I could have ever imagined. Although I did win a few more games, I would continue to find myself in scenarios that simply made it impossible to play at my best.
First game where I didn't like a hard carry, damn. But so far, I've only lost 4 of like my 21 games. I'm doing like really amazing. Well, I was doing amazing until I got into a lobby where my tank just refused to push up for space, and he kept being really toxic. Can you push up for space? Like,
No, I'm gonna push this fucking cart.
you could have cloak sit on it, she has range. And like, I don't really know why this guy was being toxic.
Yeah, like these players or something else, bro.
And although by this point I was in diamond. And the problem with players in this elo is that they all think they're right. But this problem just kept bothering me. My tank was almost always behind me, even when there was no danger, and it was just going to lead to me going back to plat 1 if we lost this game. Regardless, I tried my best to have fun.
But obviously, my mentality was already beyond ruin. This was probably my most frustrating loss, as this was probably one of the easiest to win games I've ever seen. You just wasted your walls, bro. Use it to block his heals. Stop just putting it in front of the car. But my tank just didn't take space, and half the time he was kind of just into it. And like, I tried to be nice about it, but it got to a point where I was so frustrated because he clearly had no clue what he was doing at all. He kept wasting his walls on Groot, and it was kind of getting to me. It was hard not to look at my tank and blame him for everything, even though the reality was I could definitely be playing 100 times better. And I knew that, so this had to change. If I continued down this path, I would absolutely fail this challenge. But even still, going into hour 7 wasn't much better. It felt like I personally was playing great, but it just never meant anything because we were always losing such winnable fights. It got to a point where playing ranked just felt hopeless. Dude, my Spider-Man's 19 and 14. All right, I've been on a losing streak all of a sudden, but I don't know. I don't think I'm the reason we're losing though. It's just like, I don't know what to do. I feel like unless I'm hard carrying, there it's just unwinnable. Even still, going into hour 8, it didn't get much better. It's gonna be another loss, Jesus Christ. And it would only get worse from here. I mean, man, nothing was going right for me. I was just so sick of it. And to make matters worse, someone even ended up taking Bucky from me.
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest, I've given up DPS the last 4 games.
So I decided to just leave the game since, in all honesty, I could only one trick. And after taking a break, it was halfway through hour 8. This time my focus was solely on just having fun despite everything. I mean, I had to, or I was gonna go insane.
See that Moon Knight literally standing still on point.
But yet again, the game simply did not want me to have fun, I guess. Because right after this, my team started throwing for some Rocket's AFK. We're down one, guys. Our Rocket's like, I don't know, throwing maybe. Not only did my Rocket go AFK, but my team just kept trying to surrender. Things were just getting worse and worse. But I still had to prove that Bucky was broken. So, going into hour 9, I hit up my Celestial 2 Bucky main friend. I figured if I could get someone to teach me Bucky, then I could finally overcome this slump.
Bucky is he's basically a hit scan, you know? Like he's not a hit scan, but he's basically a hit scan. Like you can peek out corners like pretty easily, you know? And you don't have to reveal yourself much at all.
I see people mostly play him next to tanks or on an off angle and like no in between.
Yeah. But as Bucky, you shouldn't be flanking as much. You should be playing with your tanks. Let's say my tank is on this 15 meter right here. I would try and play behind my tank and then hook somebody and then punch him back into the team.
So after a bit more in-depth coaching, I was fully confident that I could finally pull this off. So well into hour 9, I decided to finally re-enter comp.
Rocket one.
And it looked like I was finally over the slump I was in. After all that chaos I had went through, we were finally making progress again. And thankfully this just didn't change. It just kept going. I was doing amazing.
Good thing I was here. I never really
I'm
liked
fucking
you
a
anyway,
squid
no
body
more.
blocking. That's actually crazy. I need help behind. Come on, man. Oh, never mind. And since things were getting better and my morale was back, I wanted to show just how strong Bucky can actually be under the right circumstances. So I hit up my Celestial support friend, Squishy, to play Rocket for me for the team. Are you ready to be my Rocket one trick? Woo!
Hell yeah, bro. The rookie
It was
goes.
finally time to prove just how broken a pocketed Bucky could actually be. So with us in the final 30 minutes of the challenge, I had to prove that Bucky was busted.
And I'm popping.
I'm gonna ult on you.
Hello.
And after
God.
10 hours, I finally hit my last game.
Crazy infinite, by the way. How's she not dead?
Multi-pointed.
I pulled Jeff out. Oh, never mind.
Nice, we got one of those. Magic behind.
Magic?
Solo on you.
And although we won the first round, it was really close. It was time to prove once and for all who the Bucky GOAT was.
That was a bad ammo. Magic on a height, and she's in. She's in, I'm flying. Nice, good job.
Coral.
Alright, he doesn't get anyone there.
Almost dead.
Nice, good job, good job.
Wait, Penny almost dead.
Come on, height.
Anyone. Any half. Magic?
Actually, you probably do it every fight, because you... Penny. Dead.
Maybe with Punisher.
Actually, some point. You're already down on support. Alright, Adam's fine though. Magic's still on point. Nice. Our Hulk just grabbed her out of her ult.
Killed 4, by the way. Damn, I'm 40 and 7 with 32k damage, bro.
5.
Anyone.
Wait, Penny.
Yeah, I have it. Let's walk up a bit, Ult on the corner. I'll throw it on the corner. Nice down. Magic dead.
And I will say, I think he is absolutely busted. Not only did I end this challenge with an 80% win rate in 10 hours, but my aim overall is not very good, and he's a bit too rewarding, and all of his CC abilities give him health. When cycled properly, this guy just does not die. So I do think it takes some skill to use him effectively, but if there's any character that you're going to climb on with little to no experience, it's Bucky.
I did it! 81% win rate! Let's go!
What? You actually did it?
Yeah!
Get me the skin anyway!
By the way, if you haven't already, join my Discord. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this in the future.